What's up, everybody? Christian Hermansky here again, Century 21 AE Realty, with the red shirt realtor. And what I'm going to go into today is loans and different type of loans to help you, decide what is the best strategy for you to get a home. And some of these things you're going to have to see with your loan officer to see if you're actually eligible for it. So I'm going to go through, I have 6 loans for you to kind of, learn about, so you know the best strategy for you and ultimately your family and your finances. So the first one is the one that most people know, which is the conventional loan, where you can put down as 3%, as low as 3% down payment. If you can go as low as 3% down, and you can go as high as whatever you pretty much want. If you go at least 20% down minimum, then you don't have to pay PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. That tends to add up on your monthly bill. So if you want to avoid PMI, if you have the money, 20% down minimum, and you should be fine. But you can go as low as 3% down on a conventional loan. Some drawbacks is, if you want a lower interest rate, your credit score has to be, on the higher side, as well as your debt to income ratio has to be on the lower side. The next loan is the FHA loan. This is another loan that a lot of people tend to go for because you can go as low as 3.5% down on this loan, and the fact that it's not as harsh on your credit score and your debt to income ratio. I was working with a couple who was a little bit trouble finding them a home. It's a little harder to get a home with an FHA if you're competing with other conventional loans, because conventional loans are less stringent on the condition of the home. So a lot of homeowners tend to want to work with conventional loans because they're easier to get the loan. So I had this couple that I was working with, and they were going an FHA loan, and it's been a little hard. We've been working for maybe a couple of months now, and we just keep getting beaten out by the conventional loans. And we were looking with our loan officer, hey, can we look at the conventional loan route? Where are they able to get the conventional loan? Because they had the money for it, but the only problem was their debt to income and their credit score. So even though they had the money to afford the house for a conventional, their interest rates would have skyrocketed up because it took a hit on the credit score and the debt to income ratio. So if you are looking into the loan types, which loan best fits with you, and whatever you determine with your loan officer, that's something you would have to definitely be aware of. What are your debt to income ratios, and what is your credit score? Should I be going for the conventional, or should I go for the FHA because, hey, maybe it's not going to be as bad of an interest rate. Right now, interest rates are, I believe, as of today, around like 3.5 to 3.75, which is amazing. I'm just going to turn off the AC. Forgot to turn that off because when it's on, you guys can't hear me. But on the awful side is that I am sweating bullets. The con of having an FHA loan is the fact that you have to pay PMI. So that's going to raise your monthly payments quite just a little bit, but it's at least you get that 3.5% down, and you can get a lower interest rate if your debt to income ratio and your credit score is lower, and debt to income ratio is high and your credit score is low. There we go. FHA 203K loan, that is more for foreclosures. It allows you to purchase a foreclosure. Again, you can go 3.5% down because it is an FHA, but 203K loans are mainly for foreclosures. And the best part about a 203K loan is, let's say you find a foreclosure, you're not finding anything on the market, but you find this foreclosure, it's in the perfect area, it's not the greatest condition, but let's say it's $200,000 and you can afford $200,000. Let's say you you put in an offer, you get the offer accepted, and with a 203K loan, let's say you need to put $100,000 of repairs into this home. So now what a 203K loan lets you do is go for, it allows you to finance for up to that amount of money if the house appraises. So let's say the house is $200,000, it needs $100,000 worth of work, which makes it $300,000. And if that house appraises for $300,000, you can finance the repair work into your mortgage. The con of doing a FHA 203K loan is you're buying the home as is. So you're not really going to know what true damages this house has until you actually buy the home, because you don't know what's wrong with the plumbing, you don't know what's wrong with the water, you don't know what's wrong with the electric, you don't know what's behind the walls until you actually purchase the home, because usually all that stuff is turned off with the foreclosure. The next loan is called a Sony May Loan, which is a lot of people don't actually know about this one, and it's pretty amazing. I don't know why people don't know this about this loan, but definitely helps you when you're in a pickle. So you can also go as low as 3.5% down on a Sony May loan. It's easier on your debt to income ratio as well as your credit score, and the best part is you can actually prepay your PMI. So, you know, if you don't want to be paying extra monthly, I don't want to give you exact numbers, but, you know, before you purchase the home at the closing table, you can actually prepay that PMI, and you can get up to $15,000 or up to 3% of the purchase price for your closing costs, or help with the down payment. And if you wanted, you could use some of that money to actually pay the prepay the PMI. And if you live in the home for a minimum of 10 years, you can actually get that loan forgiven. The $15,000, I mean, or the 3%, not the actual entire loan. The other thing is that this is not for everybody. It depends if you're eligible for this loan, so you would have to speak with your loan officer. And a part of this loan is the Neighborhood Revitalization Program, which can make you eligible for up to $20,000 for repairs. And this is only specifically on vacant homes. So if you want if you want to be eligible for that $20,000, you know, it has to be a vacant home. It doesn't have to be a foreclosure, but it has to be a vacant home, which is nice because not all vacant homes need a ton of work. So maybe you can do, you know, get that $20,000 to have a new kitchen and a new bathroom. Who knows? So that's up to you. The next one is the VA loan, which is the Veterans Loan. And this one is awesome for veterans because obviously you have to be eligible, you need to be a veteran, but it lets you put 0% down on the home and finance up to 100% of the purchase price. So, I mean, that's like having zero money to buy a house. I mean, there's closing costs, but still save so much. And then the last one, it's a very short video, but you know, sometimes you just make them short. Let you guys carry on with your day. The CRA Program, which lets you do 3% down with no PMI. So even though you're putting less than 20% down, you don't got to pay that PMI. So you're saving money right there. And the interest rates are at 3.75 right now. And obviously this one is based off your location. So, you know, the income limits apply to depending on where your location, the property location is. And credit scores can actually be as low as 620. So I mean, that's pretty much everybody at that point. I mean, 620, that's not too bad. So those were the main loans that you can kind of look into. You know, this could possibly get you from thinking of buying to actually becoming a homeowner. Because let's say you don't have the money for a closing cost, down payment. Well, you got things like the Sony May Loan, where you can actually do 3.5% down and be eligible up to $15,000 to help you towards those closing costs and that down payment. Maybe you find a vacant home and you can be eligible for that $20,000 to, you know, fix some things up in that home, you know, and you get that money, you know, you get that money back. So I don't know. These are definitely little like things that a lot of buyers don't know about, and they think that, hey, I can only do the conventional 20% down. But no, there's plans and strategies for you to actually be able to become a homeowner. So that being said, again, very short video. But if you have any questions, if you want to go deeper into this, you can always reach out to me on Facebook, on Instagram. I'll probably put my number in the description. I don't know if that's a good idea on YouTube, but hope I don't get creepers. So, like always, Christian Hermansky, Red Shirt Realtor, Century 21 AA Realty, and until next time.